You are watching an improvised cinematic narrative with live production, including music and dialogue. There is no script.
No! I wasn't expecting that. This makes things interesting, at least.
This is potentially the last choice you will ever make.
That's rich, lady. You've been out in the heat too long.
Last chance. Be sure you want to do this.
Oh. Okay. You're crazy. You're really starting to piss me off. Ow! Shit. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Ah! Yeah. Oh.
I guess I won't need this. Are you all right, ma'am?
Who are you?
My name is Herbie. Who are you?
Delilah.
Well, Delilah, I'm the ambassador of Guarma. You can put the knife away, all right?
I could.
Look, there's no reason to. I'm not gonna attack you like this guy, okay? I'm definitely not after this. I came down here. I thought you might need help. I saw him come after you, but was this guy? I saw him creeping around. Do you know him?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I clearly saw him attack you. You don't have anything to worry about. How long have you been on the island?
This is my first day.
This is your first day and you got someone attacking you. Great.
Does this happen often?
No. Not as far as I've seen. Lucky you, right?
Lucky me.
Well, clearly you can handle yourself. And in my role as ambassador, and I'm very invested in building this place up, I would love, if you have the time, if you need to clean up or something, I understand, but to talk about what brings you here, what are you looking for, how we could keep somebody like you here to stay.
You just watched me take a man down and you want me to stay on the island.
Yeah, that's exactly why I would like you to stay.
And why is that?
This island is not for the faint of heart or the weak of mind. Guarma is for the strong, as we say. And that was quite the display of strength. So I'm thinking, knowing very little about you, mind you, that maybe you'd be a nice fit here. And what brought you here, anyway? Oh, okay, maybe we need to talk about this stuff later. But if you want, we can clean up. The beach is right down there. Maybe you'd come by. We'd go up to the village, Aguas Dulces. We'll sit down by the fire and we'll have a little chat. How does that sound?
All right.
Great. Well, I'll let you be, and I'll meet you down there. Do you know? Did you see where the village is?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll just meet you by the river.
All right.
All right. Okay. I'll be down there. Delilah again, right?
Yes. What's your name?
Herbie.
Herbie.
All right. Well, good job, killer. I'll see you in a little bit.
On the way there were 6 individuals waiting for me. Can you guess who they were?
No.
Well,
Who would be waiting for you?
not for me specifically, but for islanders.
Oh, I see. The officer, then.
No, in fact, it was James Kelly and his gang.
Huh. For anyone from the island.
Indeed. Well, specifically, they wanted information about Edgar.
I see. Interesting.
It seems like their vendetta is far from over.
Did they pay you well for this information?
I did not give them information. Well, nothing useful, perhaps. It was a, how would you say, the first sample is free situation.
I see.
It was 6 on 1, so I said, time is money.
Yes.
And I have used more time of yours put together than my own. So I'll be off now. Either way, they are angry at the man in the fort, as you can well imagine. However, they said that they would be content to make the island a living hell for us until they get what they want.
And what do they want?
Edgar.
They want us to bring him there, or what?
I do not think they'll be opposed to that.
I see.
But moreover, they just want Edgar. The means do not matter.
Well, I think he's good for the island.
He is for now. I had a long meeting with him not too long ago. Talking about this, that, the other. Business for the island. Bringing weaponry. Selling things. They went harvesting for fruits today. And, well, I did not assume that they'd be coming over to the crossing. However, I told Kelly that what he is doing over there in the ports might be beneficial to him, since it seems as if Mr. Edgar is on his way. In not so many plain words. They might be disappointed to find that he never did. However, Candy Cane was around. Plausible deniability, they saw him, or he saw them, and they did not come over. Now you know me. I like to play both sides. So I told Edgar.
Good. Did he appreciate you telling him?
Indeed. Very much so.
Good.
He then asked, after he dismissed the captain, he then asked me and Charlie in confidence where our allegiances lay. With you and the bar, is that the other? I simply told him what I told you, and what you already know. My allegiances are with myself. I only helped him, not for love of the island or for himself, but merely out of curiosity to see where this will go.
I should think you would be able to respect something like that, but you never know.
He told me to my face that such motives make little sense to him. I warned him before that he would not understand. I have nothing and I want less. This is enough for me.
I don't think he understands that.
No. He offered Charlie a fairly high-paying job as a courier of sorts. He's going to pay him the fee of the island for Charlie to go about doing his business, as long as he also helps to conduct Edgar's business with fruit and the like.
I see.
He is also looking to recruit members of the island to collect fruit and such. One afternoon was enough for him to realize it is not labor that he enjoys. It does seem as if Mr. Edgar, for the time being, has his best interests set in Guama. It makes him look like a big man, I assume, to his peers in the crossing.
Yes. Well, I'm of a mind to not really interfere unless he starts becoming an issue. The more work he does, the more business he brings to us on the island. Doesn't really bother me much. I would have also probably told him as well. Though I doubt he'd want to hear it from me, so I guess it was better that it was you.
He did ask about your stance and whether or not to expect adversary from you.
I told him yesterday. Why would I do that? He believes what he wants to believe, I guess.
I believe I echoed your sentiments to him today. Whether or not he believes it is another matter entirely. Yet for the time being, I suppose we are under one banner of sorts.
Banner of Orma.
Indeed. That being said, should James Kelly show up and then pitch a tent outside that castle, there's not much we can do about it.
No,
Nor would we.
Edgar's made his own bed. As have we, I suppose.
Just so. It also seems as if Miss Yang is fairly involved with Mr. Edgar. Insofar as when we were dismissed for an internal discussion, she remained.
I see. Is she not close with the shaman as well?
That is what I have been told, that she and the shaman arrived here at very similar times and are interwoven. I feel as if Yain and the shaman, who have not met, judging by his title, have interests that are tied more closely to the specific culture of Guama.
Yes. That would be an accurate assumption.
That being said, it does not make too much sense as to why she has become a pet of sorts to Mr. Edgar.
Unless it's for information.
That is quite likely.
We'll keep an eye on it either way.
Hmm.
She makes it no secret how she feels about me.
Not at all. Even through that thick mask of hers, you can sometimes hear it stretching
Yeah.
and contorting when she looks in your direction. I must ask. I noticed a fresh grave that you can see.
Hold on. Oh.
Need a beer.
Drummer, Delilah.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to Omens. You four are officially my first guests.
I'm very honored to be
Oh.
here.
Something cold then, senor, please.
Something cold. Very well.
Just had an interesting conversation with Edgar.
Reach out to me again, senor.
Very well.
Interesting because I'm not sure what his
I think I'm
game
just
is
a
this
little bit
time.
too far. There we go. Ay, ay, ay.
I've heard a lot has happened today.
I think Charlie and Julius have more
How much do I owe you?
pointed details about what's happened, but
This would be $5, please.
Have
For
you
me, for the
seen
most
Jules
part.
Today?
Where'd you go?
I have actually. He was just back down on the beach.
Oh.
We sort of split ways at the last second
Stormy.
for coming back up here.
Oh, thank you.
But I think he's talking to Isabella. I think he is planning on coming up here.
All right.
Anything for you, sir?
I honestly was hoping to have a conversation with you that's not about business.
Yes, I think that would be nice.
I'm not going to be around tomorrow, and I'm going to be back in the crossing on Sunday. So
Ah, right.
you,
Okay.
you might not see me till Monday at this rate,
Just get a good.
which is fine. Conversation's not going anywhere.
I look
You
forward to
seem
Monday then.
confident in your
All right, then.
impression of people. You know, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on this island vacation just yet. So,
I'm
I always
quite
feel
happy
like
to
it
hear
takes
that.
me a couple encounters before I get a good.
but there is a funeral I got to
grasp on
attend
some
to. So,
The same one as Herbie.
most likely, yeah.
Please.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Frankie was a good one.
For you, this is a fat mac.
I didn't get to know her as well as I would, but I had to make a
Aw.
terrible decision
There you go. There's a tip.
with her life on the line once.
Bat McCall.
I'm sure she understood.
I'm responsible, or at least partly responsible, for the burns that she suffered.
Feathers on your chest, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Did she feel that way?
We also
That-
No, she didn't.
wet soup.
But you bear the
But
We also offer
responsibility.
food as well.
Well, responsibility comes whether you like it or not. When you accept the role of protector, especially when you accept a role of leadership,
Would you like it with fish or with less?
it's up to you what happens.
Is there a no?
Whether it's your fault or not, it
Is
still
just
falls
less
on you.
fish?
It's,
That's what being a leader
Either
is.
fish or no fish.
Edgar asked me about something.
Is it
He
to your liking?
asked me what I know
Yeah,
about
that hits the
a
spot. Holy
scorpion.
crap.
Interesting. I wonder why.
And heavily implied that I was the
I have
scorpion.
a stew
I
just
see.
back here. The meat
And when I
is,
said I'm not the
locally
scorpion.
sourced from The butcher's down in the port.
Wow. Did y'all hear that?
Spices
Church.
are in it.
Sounded like a dynamite at the church.
I
It sounded
see.
close, yes. And dynamite indeed.
Well,
I believe
when
you're
I
right,
professed to
Delilah.
him that I was not the scorpion, he asked if I would tell the truth if I was.
As for spices,
And I said I
what is
would.
available to me, really. Tropical
Has
things,
he not
leaves, we
learned
try and
that's a cornerstone of
make sure
yours
they're
yet?
not poisonous, but I don't have a name for them specifically.
People like Edgar need constant reminders of the faithfulness of
I'll
others
become
because
here
they
a lot
so
more
rarely
often.
exhibit
That's
it
really
themselves.
I appreciate your
Yeah.
custom.
Every duplicitous bastard thinks everybody else is just as duplicitous and just a bastard as he is. And I may be a bastard, but I'm not a duplicitous one.
No, I'll eat today then. Shame.
I have not seen him, no.
Who
Not
is
today.
this gentleman in the poncho?
Good man.
That would be Santiago Velasquez, one of Del
I only met
Lobos.
him a couple of times myself, but he does seem like a good fellow.
Tell me more about yourself, drummer.
But he then implied
You
that
seem to
perhaps
have
I
a
am
history.
lost
Like
and
across
don't
the
realize that I'm the scorpion. That perhaps a rabbit and
What
a
exactly
scorpion
do you
are
mean by that? Are
the
you calling
same
me old,
person,
sir?
and one unaware of the
No,
other.
that's not what I'm
which
saying.
I found
I'm saying that you've got
Amusing.
a story to tell, no?
I think you're very
suppose.
aware of your
Perhaps one or two.
nature.
Thank you for the glass. I appreciate it.
A rabbit with teeth.
Oh. The glass.
But I am
Oh,
it
intrigued
is
by
okay.
this idea
I will
that
find it.
there are two
Alright.
halves of a coin within you.
Well,
Do you feel this
what I
way?
used to do in the crossing
I
is
do.
not quite different.
He also said that one day I'm going to
from
have
Oh,
what
to
I do now.
choose, which is probably the truest thing he said so far.
Bells and whistles.
Yeah, I
aside.
agree with that.
For a while, I was the
Whether that's about the island and the crossing
one of
or
the barmen at Van Horn.
about two natures, I guess.
Probably a little
We
bit
could
of
say
both.
that I have had some rather quite
There's a
interesting
Shakespearean
clientele
sonnet
before.
about better and worse halves.
My story, however, is quite intertwined with
It's
others,
funny. The speaker in it seems to be
and they are a bit more private than myself.
equally horrified and entranced by what's happening to him.
Santiago Velasquez.
14-line
came here to the
poems
crossing
written
to
in
answer the
pentameter.
call to a man who had a mission for vengeance. We helped him achieve
Two
his
loves I
goals.
have of comfort and despair,
Then,
which like two
when it
spirits
was
do
all said and
suggest me
done,
still.
we looked around, we saw that Ishalfit
The
and
better angel is a man right fair, the worser
Could
spirit
achieve
a
so
woman
much more.
colored ill.
so we stuck around. Got the
To
word.
win me soon, to hell my female evil tempteth, my better angel from my side, and would
We've achieved
corrupt
it.
my saint
in our
to be
short
a devil,
time at the crossing.
wooing his purity with her foul
Unfortunately,
pride.
it was a
And whether
path
that my
paved
angel be
with
turned
the blood of
fiend,
the law.
suspect I may yet not directly tell,
But I
being
would say
both
this,
from me,
we
and
never
both
shot
each
first,
friend,
amigo.
I guess one angel is in another's hell.
Finish the refight. That's for
Yet
them.
this shall I know, but live in
That is
doubt,
a valiant claim to
till my
make.
bad angel fired my good one out.
That does sound like an interesting story. I appreciate it.
See,
I like this
I mean, I
sonnet.
could tell more, but I don't think we know each other.
Most of them are pretty decent. There's a couple of,
Not quite yet.
I don't know,
Maybe after
lead
the
balloons in there if you
audience
ask me, but
Perhaps.
I guess one angel in another's hell.
mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I like to
Keep making
interpret
me
it
like
as
that. Who knows? Maybe even my lips will get loose.
they're both from me, and they're friends with
Oui,
each
ça,
other,
c'est-
so
So how long are you on the island for?
both are angels, and it's their circumstance that
Hard to
defines
say.
who is and
To be
is not a
honest,
devil, I
was glad
guess.
to come here and get a little break from
I think this is what it will be like for
the
you.
pressure of
The choice
war,
between the
essentially,
crossing
battle.
and Forma will be the
Oh.
circumstance that reveals
You left
It's
war
each
to come to
nature,
Guama.
I think.
That just happened.
not exactly, but I do see the irony now that I'm here.
There is a temptation here on
I didn't
Guarma
know
for
what was
you.
going on until I got here, to be honest.
Yeah, there is.
That is
I
fair
think
enough.
you You
the
feel
island
that.
sometimes.
And
I
if you
suppose he yearns for blood.
willingly walk down that road, I think a part of you is
See,
worried
it's not the only place.
what might
Saint Crossing is at its field, and
come out, I guess.
once more, still.
Dare I ask, is this war of yours with the law?
Yeah.
I don't think you need be afraid.
The
Rabbit.
law are an instrument. They are
I don't think I am
an
afraid.
obstacle that's been placed
Good.
in
I
our
think
way
is
by
what-
those who really have power.
Is what should concern me, I guess. Now, I've got two options, really.
Interesting.
That's deceiving. There's a lot more than two, but everyone
Yeah.
likes to boil it down, don't they? Or it's always
Yeah.
left and right. That's easy. That's understandable.
Yeah.
You will.
It's
two
easier
of
for us
my,
to comprehend only two
Two of my
options.
friends are here,
I found two
Sierra
tarot cards
Castillo.
today.
Did you? Which
I
one?
did.
and also El Rojo.
El Rojo.
That's correct. Both of them are injured. They wanted some time to themselves to rest up,
Huh.
get ready for.
I
the
wish I was
next fight.
kidding.
Interesting.
You see,
I was actually
Something
thinking that
happened.
you were the chariot.
which
Just
led to me
recently.
coming here exactly. It's not the only reason why I saw a little bit of.
Should that mean my chalk mark? Spoke of a wheel?
Yeah. I think that's
Oh,
actually
we
very good.
we planned the job.
Oh, just who I was looking for.
Herbie.
Yes, welcome back. Thank you very much for saying so.
How was your trip?
Well, I mean, as far as funerals will go, it was well attended. Unfortunate news. You'll hear from Charlie when he comes back. But you know, with all that talk about Edgar and wanting to wake out what was going on at the port with the law and everything, and then I get a report that they get off the boat and get into a gunfight with the law. So I fail to see how that's going to help encourage them to stop inspecting. But Charlie was fine, and I believe Julius was fine, and they went off to try to sell stuff. However, I got you a gift.
A gift?
Mm-hmm. Hi, driver.
Hello?
Would you like the gift?
I guess I'll find out when you give it to me.
I had a feeling you might like it. Maybe you got one like this already. But you know, you've been through a lot lately. And I know I say it, and you probably know it, but I want you to know that both I and the island appreciate it. Now, if you look close,
The owl.
and not just that, there's a little frog. 2 frogs. And a spider web with a bug in it. What do you think?
I like it very much. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, I asked for some type of poisonous plants in there, but I'm not quite sure what they are. But they look pretty dangerous, right?
It's perfect.
Well, good. That makes me very happy to hear that.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Uncomfortable.
Physically, how are you feeling?
Probably the same.
Okay.
But better.
Well, this is just a gift. There's no reason that feel like you have to give me something back. But if you do, the only thing I would say I would ever expect in return is to put that knife to good use to help the island. Or
course.
yourself. Whatever keeps you happy and working over here.
Thank you, Herbie.
All right. Well, I'm happy to see you. I hate being over there for that long. Good, good. All right, you two. I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm exhausted from the trip. A good seeing you, Trevor.
And you. Rest
Night,
well.
Dale.
It is not like you to be sentimental.
I think this is the first time I've ever been given a gift. Like this. Like a material gift.
I see. And how do you feel about it?
Uncomfortable, I think. Conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
It has everything I care about on it. The owl, the snake, the spider, the frog.
A very thoughtful, if not, how would you say, observant gift.
I don't think I like it. The feeling
Of
whatever this is right now.
being the subject of appreciation.
Maybe.
And why is that, I wonder?
Indeed.
You have been the subject of ire before. There has been many an eye on you before. But I posit that this makes you feel the most uncomfortable.
Yes. Why?
Interesting. Why, you ask?
Yes.
That is not for me to say. Perhaps it is in your nature.
Perhaps. I like it. I think it makes me happy to look at it.
Happy.
I think so. I feel good when I look at the owl, or the spider, or the frog, or the snake.
Good.
I think so. Warm.
Define good.
My cheeks are hot. My chest feels warm. My fingers tingly. Similar to when I feel like I am about to pounce.
It sounds to me like you might just have the flu.
Then I think I shall go lay down.
Very well. I will hold down the fort.
Good night, Trevor.
Have a good night. You let me know if you are going to go pounce. Though.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And what have you been getting up to lately?
There's a hermit that lives on top of the mountain.
A hermit.
Yeah, someone I know from my time in the crossing. He sometimes sees things in a way I do not. I went up and I talked to him for a day or two.
Does this hermit have a name?
Carver. Call him.
I see.
Do you know him?
Colin Carver. And then rings a bell. Names with alliteration tend to stick. Maybe I saw him in Rhodes once.
That's exactly where he used to be, so you're probably right.
It is possible. So this man just lives up in the mountain here?
Yes. He came shortly after I arrived, actually. Saw him once or twice, and then he decided to go up to the mountain top for a few weeks, and it's been a few months, and I don't think he plans on returning.
Interessante.
Mm-hmm. He has, in a weird way, I don't want to use the word ascended, but it feels a little bit like a mixture between ascension and metamorphosis into something truly neutral.
You
And
seem to be calling this man a monk.
I suppose so, but I feel like even monks have desire or a sense of duty to something. That's not neutrality. It's a commitment.
I wonder. And what did you glean from such an enlightened fellow?
Sometimes toads are just toads.
Toads, you say?
Or a frog. Sometimes a frog is just a frog.
This analogy escapes me.
Me too, a little bit. When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
I see.
Have you seen JJ by chance?
No, I have not.
All right.
Mr. Boone mentioned that aside from himself and Mishka, Charlie has been here, but he is in the mainland now.
All right.
On an errand. And the Lobos left shortly before that. Otherwise, it has been just myself and the waves.
All right.
A frog is just a frog.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this frog from? Some parable or something.
Something like that. Drummer, I know it won't surprise you when I tell you I'm superstitious, maybe isn't the right word, but it's the one I'm going to use.
Is that so?
Hmm.
I never would have guessed.
I saw a frog dead in the middle of the road on my way down to the village. A couple weeks back now, probably. Then I saw another one within a few minutes of the first. This one's alive. And it crossed my path. And I was walking with Herbie at the time. So I can't really tell. I can't rely on what happened there because Herbie sort of chased it. So whatever message it was trying to send me, I couldn't properly observe. Then, on our way back down from the compound, the dead frog in the middle of the road was now being consumed by 2 rats, its guts splayed on the dirt. And then again a few minutes later, after I left Herbie at the village, I was walking alone, and another frog crossed my path, stopped, and immediately turned and went a different direction than it had been traveling, off of the main road. At the time, I took it to mean I should avoid main roads. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but it turned out that very evening I ended up going to the crossing with Edgar. This is before we had our disagreement.
I see.
And I was trying to figure out if Edgar's the toad, if I'm the toad. Trying to figure out what the frog means exactly. I don't know for sure. I feel each place has its own language. So where I'm from, the signs will be different here. I see a bat. To me, it means someone I know is going to die. But in China, they're good luck. So I think it depends where you are. And I'm trying to learn Guarma's language. I'm trying to learn how she speaks. So I don't know what the frog means yet. But I do feel like it's important somehow.
I see.
You probably think I'm mad.
Not quite.
Hmm.
Close. But not quite.
Perhaps Icarus in a different sense. But Icarus all the same.
Perhaps.
Sometimes a frog is just a frog.
Sometimes. But other times, it could be a message. Who is to say?
No, it's strange. That very night, both Rabbit and their partner, Weller, described themselves as rats, separately from each other, not in the same conversation. And that was the only reference of rats the whole day, were those 2 people referring to themselves as a rat.
It would seem to me that perhaps there was something literal from this vision. Whether or not it means something happening in the present, or the future, or even the past. Who knows?
At first I thought Edgar was the frog, and that his guts weren't literal. I didn't take it to mean that Rabbit nor Weller are going to cut him open and leave him bleeding in the middle of the road, but more so that they might feast on what he provides. And perhaps that is exactly what will come to pass. Perhaps they will remain here and feast on the people that flood here looking for Edgar.
This Mr. Edgar is very proud of what he calls his tripas. Are you familiar with what that means?
No.
Guts.
Really?
Indeed.
Of course. Nothing is a coincidence, I guess. Or everything is.
I suppose it depends on which side you're looking at it from.
Hmm. Interesting all the same.
Indeed.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Me? Passing the time mostly. My daughter left something behind. I've been going through it. I am not very sentimental, but I thought maybe I could learn more about their life in the crossing.
What's in it? Diary?
It is a diary. I suppose there's nothing personal inside it. She's long gone now.
I don't believe there's anything more personal than a memory.
I agree.
Perhaps you will get to know her now.
Perhaps. I would admit I did not know her. Not in the way that people tend to do, you know. Not in the way that, how would you say, your average person going about the place knows somebody. But we understood each other. And that was enough.
What happened to her? Your daughter?
They got sick. They were shot. And I don't know, poisoning or something. It was terminal. In the end, she took matters into her own hands and with some friends went on one last heist, I suppose. He was gunned down by the law. And I suppose, in a way, laughed at death in his face. For he had plans, but she had others.
You know, I served a woman a drink once.
That's weird
Oh,
to think
yeah,
about.
of
Like,
course,
we
of
run
course,
La Playa. What the hell? Hello, fish delivery. Howdy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
There you
Miss
are.
Delilah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Your mullet is looking extra fierce today.
Thank you.
Um,
You're looking blue.
yeah, yeah. How you feeling, Delilah?
I'm feeling all right.
That's good.
Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, I started working for Lagarda, so I've just been really, really busy. No, just going around trying to help people, and of course, you know, doing our regular patrolling, and yeah, it's been good.
Us two are still kind of in the training, like learning stuff, so we're not, you know, offering all the services fully yet, but, you know, in the future, if you ever need, say, you know, a medic on standby for an event here at the bar or whatever, you know, you could reach out to us and just let us know so that, you know, in case safety's ever a concern or something. We don't want people dying.
Noted. The bar will hopefully remain neutral.
Yeah.
However, Charlie is in charge of arranging the fights and things. Noted, and I will remember. And thank you for offering your services, Boone.
Yeah. Alright, well, fish delivery successful. I'll go catch up with my partner and leave you both to it.
That's appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like some time to catch up as well.
Yeah. Haha.
Thank you again for the fish.
Yeah, of
And
course.
the next dish is free. But
Sweet.
perhaps fishy.
Okay. I mean, free is free. Later.
I didn't realize she was your daughter. Until just now.
Not biological. But I knew her growing up.
Does that mean you knew Rufus as well?
No. She, for the most part, I knew him, obviously. In the crossing, they were close. Just not in Wimbledon, though. Before I came here, well, before I went out west, I had a similar job. Well, I was younger, healthier. I would walk the bar. I would speak to people. I would let them know of rumors. But then I was... my memory is spotty. I'm going back and forth.
It's alright.
I guess I came up like most people, doing odd jobs, trying to be useful. Whatever jobs that may be. Eventually, I became known as, well, someone you could go to.
Right.
Again, for rumors, for jobs, that sort of thing, or a drink. I knew Harriet because, well, the scam she was trying to go to a bar like that, underage, no less. I kept my eye on her. I did this for some time. Truth be told, I did this for maybe most of my life. I only stopped 2 years ago. I suppose I was trying to lead 2 lives. But I will let you know some other time.
Jonah or Boone, what?
He went looking for you, I believe.
All right. Well, it was good to see you both. And if y'all need any questions or anything, or you need some help with anything, just feel free to find any of us, and we'll be sure to help you on anything.
Noted.
I appreciate it.
It is appreciated, and thank you for the fish.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully I'll see you later.
Waves.
Indeed. But as I said, I was trying to lead 2 lives. I was this bartender, this Anansi, this weaver of webs. But I also had a family. And they knew nothing. I kept them safe. My wife, my daughter. One day, I suppose, and I was safe, meticulous, but still. Some people who could not find me somehow found them. I came home to a burning house. I found them, but they were unrecognizable. And that life disappeared. I don't know what happened for the next, I'm not sure how long after. But it was Harriet that found me. On the street. She told me, "Get up, old man. I'm going to Saints Crossing." I decided to make it my purpose to see this young woman flourish. To do what I had seen her do for so long in her life. And to see where it went. I do not believe I am capable of grief anymore. However, it is a story I feel was cut too short.
We didn't really get off to a good start. How can I? But by the end, we really understood each other. And I truly was looking forward to working with her.
She was, for a brief time. Something else. Dependable, loyal. But I suppose what has been, has been. There is no use worrying about what could have been. I am sure she had no regrets. So now do I.
She didn't seem like the type.
No. I told her before. It is a shame for a parent to have to bury their child. This was back when she was a bit more reckless. She had changed her tune shortly after, but I think, well, her injuries from before caught up with her. Some lessons that we take in. Sometimes to teach, they must also end. Unfortunately, some people end up being the lesson for others.
So you do believe in signs? Just maybe in
I
a
don't
different
think I
language.
ever said I did not.
I wasn't saying you did, I guess. More just coming to the realization out loud. Maybe I can learn some of your language.
Maybe.
What is that?
I will let you know in a second. Is that you, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, it would be me.
It is good to see you.
It's good to see you as well, Drummer.
Morgan?
As well as you, Delilah.
Can we get you anything?
Drink would be great.
Good day, drummer.
And to you.
See you, drummer.
Goodbye.
That man really is like an old relic.
Who, drummer?
Why do you say that?
I've just known him for quite a while, and I don't know, that man, there's always more to him. Always
Just so?
something interesting that I quite haven't caught on to yet about that man.
We've known each other for a very long time. And yet, even today, I learned something new.
Oh, those are the best sorts of friends.
I agree.
Anyone you can know in totality after a handful of conversations is, yeah. A known quantity can only be so entertaining.
Thrill-seeking. Variance.
Thrill-seeking.
We were having a conversation earlier about... Who was it, Morgan? Someone you knew that was chasing I suppose who it is isn't important.
Yeah, it wasn't who it is part, more so the people attacking. You know how it is, right? If you have a problem with someone, back in the day, you'd usually go to them and deal with the problem, right? Now it's a lot of, if you have a problem with someone, you go after their sister, their lover, their family member, their brother.
Yeah, I'm very familiar.
And as I was saying, if I did that for every contract I had, I'd be rich and I'd do every contract within 2 days. Where's the fun in that? What's the challenge in that?
You just shoot the person they buy their tobacco from and say next time they buy cigarettes, tell them that this was meant for them.
It's not satisfying.
There was someone he mentioned that had gotten their loved ones hurt because of their thrill-seeking.
Benny?
I posited
Peters.
that all people
Drew Peters, I see.
thrill-seek. Yes, that was it. I posited that all people thrill-seek. It's just a matter of variance.
Well, I'm a thrill seeker, but I prefer to bet with my own chips rather than somebody else's.
Right. Again, the variance. But you saying if you could know someone completely in just a few conversations, what's the fun in that? It's a form of thrill-seeking. Just variance.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I've known Morgan here a long time. Like an obscenely long time.
A ridiculously long time. Jesus.
I feel like I know him in a general sense, but there's so much of his life that I'm not privy to. You know, with good reason, of course.
You know, I'd probably tell you more, but then I might end up in a cell, so...
Like I've told people, I feel my time on Guarma has made me an amnesiac when it comes to things I hear here, but I'm not going to try and bend you one way or the other.
I appreciate you both respecting the neutral space that is this bar.
It's nice to see a neutral place actually be done correctly. The amount of neutral places in the crossing I've heard of. Jesus Christ.
And don't get me started. Here, there's a tower up on Mount Hagen, Delilah. Do you know the one? It's a big squat wooden thing.
I have never been up in the snow.
Oh, well. There's a tower that you can see from a fair few points in the crossing. And from it, you can see a good deal of the crossing itself. It's maybe not the best view, but it's one of my favorites. I was trying to run that as a ranger post, and I was trying to set up a small community up in Mount Hagen. For the most part, it was a community of one.
I'll make a point to visit next time I'm in the crossing.
Now, if stars align, I'm sure I could show you. But the snow is a much bigger place now since the frontier opened up.
Well, I hope they align then.
Yeah, me too. Coulter is a town that's managed to capture my heart, so...
You've mentioned it a few times. I would like to see it.
So what's keeping you on Guarma at the moment, Morgan?
Oh, what should I say? Self-discovery, that's what I'm going to say.
Self-discovery.
I'm just trying to figure shit out, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
A lot of question marks, and I'm trying to, I guess, answer the questions.
Any of those questions about Redwater in general?
Yeah.
That must be tough.
Red Border's always been a thing of there's no leader. Everyone says there's no leader, there's set and a third. And people make choices that I question and have issues with more often recently. And
Which is difficult to address if you ain't the leader.
The funny thing is, everybody in the crossing, in Guarma, fucking everywhere, deputies, they all believe me to be the leader. And I think I'm starting to realize that maybe that's how things should be. I think Red Border's lost a bit of its direction, and I think part of that's my fault. I think people got hurt in ways they didn't need to, because I didn't tell people what's what. I let other people make big choices that bit us in the ass. To the point where I let my own, I don't know, morals or code or whatever, altered it, changed it for the other people around me. I guess one of those points would be how we deal with law, how we deal with civilians. And I think I'm at the point where I'm kind of sick of changing my ways just for the rest.
And what is your stance on civilians?
I'm willing to beat up a civilian. I don't want to see civilians getting executed or shot. Doesn't need to happen. As I said, I don't want to be attacking people's friends and family to get at them. That's below my standards. That's below Red Border standards.
Digging a hole, not in the ground, but into the palm of your hand. You're trying to scratch an itch that you can't reach. I see you dreaming in your waking life, and sleeping in your dreams. You're losing touch, but you've never let go. The vulture's wing sand through your fingers. A stranger's grin, a sunset.
I think I owe you a conversation.
I wouldn't mind.
I had a couple of questions to ask you, actually.
Alright.
I wanted to learn a bit more about you, actually. Which I hope ain't too presumptuous.
What would you like to know?
Well, I remember one of the very first things you ever told me was that you, followed an owl to the crossing.
Yes, I did.
And that where you're from, owls are sacred?
Yes. You see an owl, it means that you are to follow it until you reach your new destination.
Alright, so owls are guides, or messengers?
In a way, more like a carrier. A wagon. Spiritual wagon, maybe.
A spiritual wagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chariot.
Well, did you get my message, by the way?
Did you leave me a chariot and I missed it?
It wasn't much. I left a single word on that wheel up there. It just said returned, just so you knew that I was back on the island.
Huh.
But it was a little subtle, I guess.
I like the idea of looking there in the future for notes from you. I shall endeavor to do the same.
Alright. Well, where are you from, in that case?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
The bayou.
So proper bayou, yeah.
Yes.
And the culture and custom of the owl and what it means, where did you learn that? So you grew up with?
Creole, yes.
Right, okay. I know very little about this.
A lot of people don't. I've only met one other person in the crossing, actually, if you can believe that. A fellow by the name of Colin Carver followed an owl to the crossing.
Colin Carver.
Yes. Do you know him?
Related to Cat Carver, right?
Yes. That's my
I'm
brother.
familiar with Cat. I don't know if I've actually met Colin, maybe in passing.
He used to work and or run the gun store in Rhodes. That's where I met him. Used to work under a Cooper and Flood.
I know Garrett Cooper and I know Flood.
He was an employee of theirs for a long time. He lives on top of the mountain now.
On top of the mountain?
Yes.
This mountain?
Yes.
Does he come down rarely, or?
On occasion. Last time he was here, he said, I'm going to go up to the mountain for a few days to think. That was several months ago. But I just saw him. When you left for the funeral, I decided to go and see him for some advice. Sometimes he sees things differently than I do, and I like his perspective.
Is that some of the Creole, or is that just him as a person?
A bit of both. We have a lot of the same traditions, but also some of them are slightly different, spun slightly differently from each other. Woven intricately still, but the design is slightly different, so.
Right.
Ultimately, what we do is a lot of interpretation, and that is a very personal skill. And everyone's will be different.
Well, that much makes sense. I've learned as much from my time with tarot so far.
Exactly.
That a reader is at least the same importance as the receiver and the cards themselves.
Exactly. And where did you get introduced to tarot, Rabbit?
A woman named Bellatrix.
Right, I believe you mentioned that before.
Yeah, she's a doctor in the crossing. She's an old friend of mine. She knew me before I was shot. She was very kind to me after I was. She held a lot of fondness for me, and at one point she was in a relationship with the man who shot me, which I believe made her feel some level of, perhaps responsibility. But she was the first person I ever had a reading from, and I learned a lot through her as such. I believe I helped her assemble her first tarot deck in the crossing.
How kind of you.
It's often rare that someone in the crossing knows what they want. So when someone says, I want tarot cards, I go, excellent, let me go get some.
I said those exact words in conversation with Drummer and Morgan earlier today. People rarely know what they want.
Yeah, most folks you meet will want to go with the flow, regardless of what that flow is. When you ask them what they want or what they want to do, they'll say, Well, whatever you want to do.
And what do you want to do, Rabbit? Do
I
you
want
know?
to talk to you. What other animals are sacred? Or important, I guess.
Oh, all animals are important. It's just a matter of the language of the area that you are in. So, Louisiana, gators, owls, obviously carrion birds. Lots of birds, actually, that you will never see anywhere else in the world will visit the bayou.
Really?
Yes. More birds
Any
than...
examples, or?
Yes. I'm trying to think of some that you may not have heard of. Well, there are, pelicans, obviously, herons, sandpipers. Are you familiar with those?
Is it sandpiper?
That's right.
No, I've never heard of that.
Ah, we found one. They are a wading bird. A small, similar to a very plump chickadee. Very, very plump chickadee, with a longer beak. Are you familiar with the chickadee?
I am, actually.
All right. They like to dip their legs into the sand and water, and they dig for food, items, just under the surface of the sand. I assume they're called sandpiper for the fact that they crawl across the sand and the piper for their long beak. They're a very funny looking bird.
Any particular meaning if you see one?
It's so funny that you ask. Tread carefully, for the ground that you walk on may not be solid.
Oh, that is good advice.
But you can
Especially
see
from a
why.
bird.
Exactly.
Yes.
And again, there are variations of interpretations. For example, if one crosses your path directly, that might mean something different than one seeing two of them fighting each other brutally on the beach. It's perhaps a strange knack, a sense almost. Interpretation, being able to understand what's happening in front of you and to be able to apply it. Almost like the frogs the other day. There was a time when I was in the crossing and I was heading from Rhodes to Valentine. I think I had just spoken to Colin, actually. And when I first met him, I was a little agitated. Aggressive probably is far too strong of a word for what I was feeling and how I was behaving, but I was very suspicious. I had never met anyone with similar beliefs here in the crossing, so it came as quite a shock to me that people were talking about a boy who had followed a white owl. In my flustered state, a horse crossed my path and stopped right in front of me. Just waited in the middle of the road from Valentine to Rhodes. I stopped and waited, watched it. And once it noticed I had noticed, it began to walk down the road. So I followed. If the horse had perhaps raised itself up or ran from me or done something else, it would have been a different message. But because it stood there in my path to stop me and waited and slowly walked away from me, I knew it was trying to lead me somewhere, so I followed it. I followed it directly to a burned, very, very burned town. And right as I arrived, 3 deputies showed up for training. I can't remember their names now. But if I had continued to look into them, I imagine I would have found that they were pretty important to what was happening around me in the Blue Pearl at that moment and that time. But I chose to remain neutral.
Hard choice to make.
Not usually for me.
You find it easy to stay neutral?
Until recently, yes.
I find it the most difficult thing in the world.
Why?
I guess my life has been defined by action and taking it. And not hesitating when it needs to be taken.
You can take action and not hesitate while still remaining neutral.
That's true. I'm just not very good at it. I inherently want to fight for something.
Yes.
And while neutrality is certainly something you can fight for, often you fight for it by not fighting at all.
I find neutrality for me is simply a state of perspective. Perhaps a baseline. It's difficult for me to feel passionately. And so by default, I land in a neutral space. Not so much recently.
Are you finding yourself spurred to take a side?
Not necessarily pick a side, but I did hesitate for the first time, out of concern for the safety of you and Jules. I did very quickly act to attack the shaman. These are things I normally wouldn't do. If Edgar wanted to brutally attack and kill the shaman a year ago, I think I would have just let that happen. In fact, I did let that happen for other people. Let maybe isn't the right word, but I knew things were going on and I continued simply serving drinks. in Saint Denis. I feel no guilt. Don't mistake my recollection for regret. I didn't carry the knife. I didn't pull the trigger. But I was aware. And so I can't help but make comparison to that time and this one, where when I heard what he wanted to do, within minutes I had already made a decision and acted. Probably not the best way to handle the situation. It's the only way I knew how at the time.
Would you have acted the same if you had only the same information again?
Absolutely. It worked. He is alive, he is fully recovered, and Edgar immediately lost interest.
That's a lesson I teach my deputies.
To play with someone else's toy first.
No. It's... if you look back on a situation and think I could have done this and I could have done that, I say, okay, I'm going to present you the exact same scenario again, and you're only going to have the same information you had when you made the call. Do you make the same call or a different one? If you make a different one, that's concerning to me.
Do you find people can accurately assess that situation? I feel like most people can't help but use the knowledge that they know now. Hindsight, when looking at a situation from the past.
No, it's impossible.
Right.
It's a difficult thing to ask someone to stay ignorant, you know.
Is the test not actually in the ability to stay ignorant, but the ability to look back and show compassion to yourself? I see.
That's very important. Because you can look back and call yourself an idiot all you like, but
I see.
It doesn't undo anything, and it certainly doesn't help anybody in the future. And you can learn from your mistake if there was one, but often I tell folks there is no wrong choice, just a series of
choices and consequences.
Yeah, wrong and right make you think the world's binary when you're toying with people's personal safety, with their lives. You're dealing in a very grand scale of game where you've already lost by having to step up to the plate. You know, if someone comes up with a hostage, they're asking you to compromise something. And even if you claim that you'll compromise nothing, it's the person in between that's getting compromised.
I had a similar conversation with Mishka, actually. She came to me before she was upset about having told Herbie your private information, and then I think she was coming to me to make sure I wasn't going to say anything to anyone else, and or maybe seeking some sort of absolution. I'm afraid I'm not very good at consoling people, but she had said feel badly. But our conversation centered around values, and I tried to express that she feels badly because of the consequence to her action, but would she do anything differently? No, she wouldn't. She valued her desire to have you around more than your personal wishes. I said that is not necessarily right or wrong, that is simply the choice that you made. You may feel bad or not like the consequence to your actions, but if you wouldn't do anything differently, then is it really a wrong choice? I tried to explain this to her, but I don't think she really followed my logic. Not giving her approval of the situation, obviously. If it were me, I would respect your wishes and desires over my desire to keep you around. Although that is very strong, I will admit.
Your desire to keep me around?
Yes. I find you very intriguing.
I find you very intriguing too.
The day is a lot more exciting when I know you might pop up.
That's very flattering.
I haven't had that in a very long time.
I was trying to explain that to Tabitha.
That it is exciting here. Or intriguing, or both.
Yeah, those things. And that life is more than... Everything's so much duller and grayer in the crossing now. It's like I can't see color properly until I'm back here. And the word home is starting to become tenuous.
I see. Maybe I hope I would prioritize your desires and wishes over my own, but I will admit I did feel a little happy to hear that just now. Happy. Strange word to use in that sense, but it felt good.
I can't imagine us leaving. Or leaving without a plan to return.
Yeah. Your indecisiveness or crossroads shouldn't fill me with glee. I imagine it is no easy situation.
Oh, they all look at me like I've lost my fucking mind back there. Which I find incredibly insulting.
Sometimes, when someone is drowning, they will take everyone around them with them, even if they're trying to help. I find people are often like this in their waking lives. As long as you fit into their idea of what life should be. You can coexist peacefully. But the moment you deviate, the moment you, even for a second, imply that there might be something they are missing, not that you have it and that they don't, more so that you understand yourself in a way that they will never understand themselves, then they will cast you out. And unfortunately not grant you the respect to say, we go our own way, to each their own. Good luck. Wish you the best. Instead, they have to imply you are crazy, your judgment is impaired, because if it isn't, then they have to look at themselves and where they are and what they're doing, and I feel like deep down, most people know they're just in a maze. Rats in a maze. Everyone. Doing what we're told to do. Because it's what we have to do. It's what we're supposed to do. It's just what is done. It is what has always been done. I always take that as a sign that I'm on the right path. If people start reacting to my decisions in this manner, it usually means that I am actually following what I really truly desire and what will give me peace, if that's the right word. Content is a better word.
Yeah, contentment seems like a good word to me.
Yes.
Leaving Mishka certainly was painful, but I am content having done it. The act of compromising myself for another person grew very wearying in the end.
I very much like you uncompromised.
Yeah, me too. Everyone is so preoccupied with telling me that I'm a good person. They're so concerned with those definitions.
Well, again, if you're not a good person, then they have to look inward. So as long as you meet their definition, you fit into their worldview, then they don't have to look inward. They don't have to open the closets. They don't have to really dig deep and face those secret desires.
I guess it's easier to think that I must just be a good person who thinks they're a bad person than to consider the fact that they like a bad person.
Yes, exactly. And all of the strange thoughts and feelings that come along with that. I like a monster, for lack of a better word. Does that make me a monster? Where's the line? Where do I fit in? How shall I label myself now? I strive to live outside of that. I like who I like. That doesn't mean anything except that I like something or someone.
When I told you my birth name, you had quite a reaction to it.
Yes.
Does Morrigan mean something else to you?
What does it mean to you? Because perhaps it is the same.
Well, my mother named me it as kind of an act of spite, actually.
Yes.
I know it's a figure from Irish mythology.
Yes.
It's a threefold goddess, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So there is the Morrigan, and then there is the Morrigan. The three fates.
Yeah, I've heard it compared to the belief of, Mother Maiden Crone.
Yes.
Apparently, those sorts of deities are recurrent in different, faiths and cultures.
I don't imagine your mother named you after the three faces of Morrigan. I assume she more named you after the Morrigan herself.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. And my surprise was twofold, Rabbit. Surprise at your name, of course, or the name in which was given to you. Phantom Queen Morrigan.
She was looking for the word nightmare, I think.
Well, perhaps. But instead she chose a woman of fury and frenzy, a woman of wrath, a woman who is unafraid to bring the war where it needs to go and be. They call her the bringer of death. They are similarly equivalent to the Valkyrie in Norse mythology. Bringers of battle and death. Chariots to the afterlife for those who are worthy. And those who are not will be crushed underneath their boot. Though she may have meant it in spite, it seems rather apt in a strange, twisted way.
Yeah, there's that word again.
Apt?
Chariot.
Chariot, yes. I think this is you, the chariot. So, my surprise was at that, and how strange it was, but also more so that you denied the name given to you at birth and chose to carry a different one because I have done the same. And I find myself continually in awe at the way in which we mirror each other, reflect like water. I probably shouldn't be surprised anymore. But my caretaker also named me in spite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not. It doesn't mean anything anyway.
I had a feeling that's exactly what you'd say.
It's what she wants to call me, so be it. It's no more my identity than her opinion. But at the end of the day, she doesn't know who I am.
Does anyone know who you are?
I don't know. I don't really think about it too much, if I'm honest.
I'm certainly trying, but I'd say it takes people quite a fair while to get to know me, so I can imagine it takes the same, if not longer, to get to know you.
Yes. I believe this is the most I have said about where I am from and my upbringing to anyone in at least 7 years.
Is that out of trust, or is that because I've actually asked the questions?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah, I find a lot of people don't ask. They wait to be told.
Yes.
And to be honest, I don't ask very often. I only ask when people catch my interest. Getting to know people that I care about has been a recent sort of revelation for me. I always assumed everybody was very closed up and not wanting to share, but as it turns out, most folks are just waiting to be asked.
What are you waiting to be asked, Rabbit?
That's a very loaded question.
Perhaps don't give me an answer. Perhaps just think on that, and I will do the same.
Yeah, okay.
I do wonder if there is something I am waiting for someone to ask. Above all the other things. An interesting thought.
Well, I've got a question, but I always fear it's one of those ones that can go either way. Can certainly rankle the skin if you're not careful.
I think you'll find that is somewhat difficult to do with me, so please go on. If I don't want to answer, I will simply tell you.
Have you ever been in love?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
Never really had the opportunity.
I ask it because Tabitha asked me what drew me to you. And I kind of blurted out without really thinking. I said, look, she's like me, okay? And that's rare. And she didn't really know how to respond to that. And I asked because I thought I'd been in love, but now I'm starting to wonder if maybe I don't understand what it is, because I just seem to keep getting it wrong.
There's that word again.
Wrong?
Yeah.
Not a fan?
Not traditionally, no. But I can see why you would use it here in this sense. What drew you to Mishka, if I may ask?
Well, she expressed interest in me, which in itself is pretty rare.
Did it feel
Romantic
like she saw
interest,
you?
I mean.
Yes.
It felt like she saw part of me. I was very difficult to get across to, apparently. She had to try very hard to actually catch my attention. And when someone puts in that kind of effort just for you, it's flattering, I guess.
You don't
I was
seem
very-
like an easy one to flatter.
No. She was just very forward and she was stumbling all over herself, and I remember asking, "Are you drunk? Is there something wrong?" She kept stumbling over herself and her words, and I just thought, there's either something wrong with this woman or she's messing with me. I can't tell which. I don't particularly have a good read on these sorts of things.
I met someone one time. We knew each other for a steady several months, and then there was nothing. So when I say we knew each other for several years, there were bits in between where there was nothing. But we only spoke once. One conversation. At the very end of our time together. But I know they knew me, and I knew them. And it wasn't romantic at all. But it showed me what I want, and that I will not settle for anything less than that type of connection.
Can you put it into words?
The type of connection?
Yeah.
Yes. To be yourself utterly and completely, without fear, without judgment, without doubt, without boundaries, borders, to understand and to be understood truly and completely. So much so that you don't even need words. I've met a few people here in the crossing that give me that initial feeling, that reflective surface. Edgar was one of those people at first. I should have known better. In our first conversation, he told me exactly who he was.
We all want to be deceived, though, don't we?
I guess so. I thought I was impervious to that. I guess I do struggle with ego. Alas.
Even the most truthful of us.
Yes,
We can lie to ourselves, if nothing else, and that's where it starts.
exactly.
I lied to myself with Mishka. I thought maybe I could play this game as everybody playing, and that meant that I could be normal. And I could pretend at it through her. Not that I was trying to use her, I thought I was giving her something she wanted to, but it wasn't very truthful.
I see. I don't think I'm lying to myself with you. I would very much like to learn more about you, Rabbit. Since the first conversation we've had.
I've still taken the thing you said in our first conversation as a form of highest praise. You said, I think I like you, Rabbit.
Yeah.
I've held on to that.
It's not something I say very often.
I got the feeling when you said it.
Morgan.
Yes?
Is now a bad time? I don't want to disrupt your thoughts.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're fine. I'm just planning some stuff for a race.
Just a thought. I have to go now. Herbie needs me for something, but 2 things. The first is a gift of a personal nature. I write down every bounty, every transaction in code.
Mm-hmm.
So even Drummer didn't know that you were already a member. Your code name that I have given you is Vermilion. Do you know what this means?
I'm not so sure.
Well, it's a mineral, but beyond that, it is a combination of 2 common minerals, sulfur and mercury. Are you familiar with alchemy at all?
Very slightly, yes.
Okay. Well, sulfur in alchemy means bridging the high point and the low point. It represents an expanse, a force that cannot be stopped, but that will also evolve. It will evaporate and eventually dissolve and return again. It's one of the 3 primary forces in alchemy. Sulfur. Mercury it represents transcending from liquid to solid. The spirit of life, truly. The phoenix, if you will. And Vermilion is the same thing. It is this brilliant red mineral that combines both sulfur and mercury. So really you are the red phoenix. You will experience rebirth again and again and again. And I know we don't know each other that well, and you don't need me to tell you that whatever transformation you are experiencing or going through will leave you more vibrant than the last.
Ain't exactly the first time I've rebuilt myself.
Well, hello.
It won't
Sorry.
be the last.
What's that?
Oh, we were just having a conversation.
Oh, Morgan, sorry. It was very difficult for me to see you for a second.
You're fine.
Can I grab you outside for a second, Delilah?
Yes, I'll be right there.
All right. Take a walk with me?
Yes.
All right, let's go towards Bailey's house. We're having a nice little chat with Rabbit.
Yes.
Is that a smile I hear back there?
Yes.
Oh, this tone in your voice is something I only maybe heard once.
I know.
Maybe twice. I think when I locked you in that cage, it came out too. Well, I feel like, wouldn't you say I've been very generous for you, to you?
Yes.
I don't know why. I'm feeling very generous. Have you seen JJ today?
No. I did look for her, but I didn't find her.
Yeah. She was looking for you earlier. She bought a new outfit to work up at the bar.
Ah, the scorpion.
You're gonna like it. Not to ruin that surprise, but
I will say it was fun watching everyone wonder who the scorpion was.
you know, I told her I really did encourage her to leave and go help you.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. But would my monster like another gift?
Are you implying JJ came to me entirely because of you, Herbie?
No. I nudged. I could have pulled back. If I had said I needed JJ and the militia wouldn't survive without her and it's important to the island, she wouldn't have left. But my question remains. If I may advise you, you should say yes, because I think you're really, really gonna like this one.
If you would like to give me a gift, Herbie, simply give it.
I'm afraid I don't operate like that, and you know very well I don't. However, I will tell you. And if you choose to accept it, you may have it. You know how occasionally you have to take care of a little problem on the island?
Yes.
So another problem has come up.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. However, as much as I appreciate the efficiency of your work, I think we can make it a lot more interesting.
I would very much like my gift now.
Well, picture this. Right? Here, come this way. But we're gonna get a little visual here. Now, in the past, I've asked you to do something. Like I said, you've done it efficiently and, you know, without no complaints, full review. Maybe this wasn't the best spot, but we'll go right on down here. Now, I know this is not my specialty, so forgive me if I'd paint the picture incorrectly, right? All right, let's right here we'll work in this kind of brush. Now imagine, if you will, I tell you that there's a poison has been causing problems for this island, and they must be dealt with. A little excited already?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, that poison isn't me. Just make it clear. Now, imagine, if you will, I have asked you as a favor to the island, and perhaps as a bit of competition with other people, to find this poison, for they have been released and they are aware that they are a problem. And they are aware that not just someone, but some ones are coming for them. Now, you could be walking along, looking around. I want you to picture that. If somebody was poorly hiding in the shrubbery,
And then?
and you were hunting them, I want you to think that you're up there in the darkness. Let's pretend it's darker. And you catch a glimpse of something shining in a torchlight. Right?
Yes.
And then, I'm assuming your heart rate would escalate, right?
Most certainly.
You have located your prey. This you can picture very easily, I imagine. You probably do it quite often. Is that
Very
correct?
much liking this story, Herbie. Please
Well,
continue.
there's one more thing I want you to picture, right? Can you indulge me for a moment? I promise you'll like it.
Yes.
Close your eyes and picture this. The jungle is dark. Your ears are open and alight. Your eyes have adjusted to it. All your senses just pulling in all the sights and sounds of anything, smells. And you catch this glimpse. And your blood starts to pump. But before you start making your way down, you turn to your left to let the poison you're hunting with know what you saw.
Who am I hunting with, Herbie?
Your eyes are closed, Dell. You tell me, who are you hunting with?
Clive.
Clive?
Or Rabbit.
Now that's what I was thinking. I think Rabbit might take some convincing. Who would you prefer? You don't have to. We got time. This place isn't going anywhere. Would you like to think about it?
Yes.
Okay, you let me know. And take all the time you need, all right?
Was this a thought experiment?
No.
This is quite the gift.
Well, you know. You said something to me. And you probably shouldn't have, because it has made my weakness of mine glaringly obvious.
What was it that I said?
You said I was your friend.
You are.
Well, I know what my friend likes. Besides, I want you in the bar to be strong on this island, and you are strong on your own, stronger than most others. But in order for you and that bar to continue to be strong, you will need people around you. And you're already doing a great job with this drummer. I don't know much about him, but you seem to enjoy him and have a lot of confidence in him. JJ, I know she's very strong, and she could get stronger, and she will. I don't think I have any concept of how strong Clive is.
We
And
will
if we
be
can-
unstoppable.
And if we can get rapid, yes, you can, and I can rest easy that what you do here will be safe, and it can be defended, and it can be enough to make people think twice before messing with my friend.
You're expressing concern with this gift? I see.
I'm expressing concern. No.
No, allow me to articulate. This is a chess move that you are doing. It's a maneuver.
It's a lot of things.
It is a gift to me, primary, first and foremost. However, it will allow other people on the island potentially to see how ruthless I can be.
Yeah. Well, I have two goals now. I'll be
Potentially
nice.
ensuring my safety. Yes.
Yeah, I will be very happy if I never see you get attacked like that again. And that is in your interest, and it is in my interest. And if I am unable to do it properly, and I am forced to stand there while it happens, well, I already saw Rabbit step up for you once. And that was well before they were buying gifts for you. So I'm quite confident they will do it again. So it is in the best interest for me, for you, and in my opinion, the island. The rabbits stay here.
I will
And this is-
use
I was
your
pla-
other gift in my
What?
hunt.
Yo, I hope you do. I'd be very flattered.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
Well, we'll get you one.
I want it to be special.
Well, you think about who you want along to watch you use that.
I will.
Now, you know I'd find a dissident whenever you need it, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I apologize for how I know it would seem very weird to people, but I am very sentimental, and I like doing things for my friends. You know, most people would find this, shall we say, some might think this is quite demented, but I know you to an extent, and I know what you like, so.
Thank you for you have done a lot for me recently. I suddenly feel a small tender remorse for the mess I made that I know you cleaned up for me.
Oh. That's... You just stab that until it goes away. There's no remorse to add. The only thing I felt bad about was you getting hurt. And besides, remorse is not a good look on you.
All right. Thank you, Herbie.
Delilah,
Yes?
as long as I can, as long as it's within my power, any mess will get cleaned up. But I really don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. I see.
There are people, I don't think many people would appreciate me saying this, but I'll say to you, some people are more important than others. And I have done a lot of thought about this on who is important to the island. So if you're more important, you get some leeway. Also, so do my friends. Imagine how nice it'd be to you if you laugh at my fucking jokes once in a while.
Will be funnier.
Okay. I don't... Gosh, that cuts deeper than any fucking knife you could ever use. Jesus Christ. Talk about a weakness. All right, killer.
Every time I cut you there, you get stronger.
That makes me furious. All right.
It's a good look on you.
You walk me over to Bailey's?
Yes.
Okay. Anger is a good look on me.
Yes.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of it in me.
I know.
Oh, yeah. You may have seen it once or twice.
Where
What's that?
Where
does my anger come from?
No, where do I take Rabbit tomorrow?
What do you mean?
I would like to take them somewhere they haven't seen.
Ooh.
Somewhere private.
Right.
Perhaps up the mountain. Good night, Herbie.
Well, good night, Dale. It's nice to hear you smiling.
Should be alright.
Are you sure about that one? Suit yourselves,
I
pendeos.
think I need to,
Oh, shit, Edgar, what the hell are you doing?
Well,
No more enemies to Delilah. Fuck them. Is that you, Charlie?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Jesus Christ. All right. I don't think any got down here. That's what you're wondering.
Julius, put the gun down, Julius. I will fucking kill you.
Hold on.
Put it down, amigo.
You shot down a bunch of our guests, Edgar.
They were my guests. Fuck
hell
them.
you
Put
doing?
it down. They wouldn't be here if we
Julius,
didn't invite
this
them,
ain't the
amigo.
time, mate. This ain't the time.
Right, okay. I was trying to fucking solve this without people getting hurt. Jesus fucking
Fuck
Christ,
them.
Edgar.
Well,
Jesus fucking Christ. Look what you've done.
What have I done?
Got in the island a bunch of goddamn enemies. You make your enemies the island's fucking enemies. Jesus Christ.
Garda coming through. We're neutral. We're tending to the bodies. Just let us through.
Egg, you fucking fool.
Oh, God.
Do you have a medical pack? Please patch up my face.
where the fuck do they want me?
Go on down, I guess.
Have a fucking good swing, Andy.
Fucking Christ.
Are they taking the injured?
I don't know. I'm sure.
I guess just down to the beach.
Trash off my castle. All of them. Hey, who are you with, amigo?
I'm with nobody.
Andale, way.
All right.
They're all of them. Let's get out of here, Charlie.
You are.
Right in the head.
You fucking hell.
Amigo, un momento, por favor.
Should get back to the bar.
You are. Got time for a drink, eh?
Yeah. Coming down behind us.
Here they come.
Julius.
Christ.
Yeah.
You could just count me. I'm already dead weight.
No. I ain't leaving anybody fucking behind.
Can somebody
This was
please
absolutely-
can somebody just please take this lady? I need to talk to Julius.
Okay. Yeah, get her some medical attention, please.
Julius, you spoken of things, amigo, that is frustrating to me, amigo. We asked
You wanna take her over
questions,
there?
and with your silver tongue,
Never mind.
you
We'll
beat
just walk
around the
together.
bush. You talk about how you want to make this place better. Yet you don't even, you're listening. Why
Doug
did
got
you
him.
do that?
Listen to me. We had a chance to make peace. So what's best for the island. It doesn't need to be any more bloodshed, right? Edgar talks about this blood god, this curse, all that. All I want is for peace for the island. Look, and if you're gonna fucking gun me down,
I don't like how
so
they're
be it.
setting up right now.
Look, I'm here because I meant what I said up there, that I
we
Big
should.
one
peace
first.
for the island. I want the end to this
I'm going for
bloodshed.
candy
People getting
cane.
shot down. That's not what Gorma should be about. We can build something better together. I want to build it with you all.
Yet you speak about other things, materialistic things. You don't do exactly what I do for Guarma. Let me show you what I do, amigo. Ay, amigo.
I don't fucking think so.
Oh, God, my head. Ow.
You know what? Please take him up to the castle.
I think my trauma's coming out.
As far as you, amigo.
Caramba.
Never respected anything that you did.
Thanks for watching. If you like this and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. For in-depth character and meta chatter, tune into twitch.tv/pumpkinberry for Meta Mondays at noon Eastern.